Right. So here we have a quadcopter. It has four motors, number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now motor number 1 and 4 turn clockwise, motor number 2 and 3 turn anti-clockwise. But remember that all the propellers on all four motors push the air downwards. So why do we make them turn in different directions? Well, this is because when a motor spins, it creates an angular momentum in the opposite direction of its spinning. This is according to Newton's third law of motion, that every action has an equal but opposite reaction. For example, this motor spins clockwise, the angular momentum will be in this direction. And for this motor, the angular momentum will be in the downward direction. So both the angular momentum forces cancel out or balance each other actually. Same is the case here and here and here. That is why the quadcopter does not spin about its axis, which we call a yaw effect in the aircrafts. So if you want to spin the quadcopter, let's say if you want to spin it anti-clockwise, what you will do is you have to increase these forces and this with respect to these forces. So you increase the speed on motor number 1 and 4 compared to motor number 2 and 3. What happens is this arrow and this arrow, these forces become much bigger compared to this arrow and this arrow. So the quadcopter then spins anti-clockwise. Now for clockwise rotation, you increase the speeds of motor number 2 and 3 compared to motor number 1 and 4. That is how the quadcopter will spin clockwise. If you want the quadcopter's front to pitch upwards, this front should pitch upwards, then what you have to do is you have to increase the speeds of motor number 4 and 2 compared to motor number 1 and 3. So these two motors will spin at a faster rate, and that will draw more air current downwards, and this front of the quadcopter will rise upwards. If you want to rise the back side of the quadcopter and you want to pitch the front downwards, then you have to increase the speeds of these two motors, 1 and 3. Now if you want to induce a roll effect, whereas in which a side of a quadcopter is lifted, and for example if I want to roll the quadcopter towards the left and raise this side actually, so what you have to do is you have to increase the speed of motor number 1 and 2 compared to motor number 3 and 4. This will have more thrust on the right side of the quadcopter than the left side, and the quadcopter will tilt its right side upwards. Same goes for the other side. If you want to tilt this side, then increase the speeds of motor number 3 and 4 compared to 1 and 2. So the quadcopter will roll towards the right. And for takeoff and landing, you have to increase or decrease the motor speeds equally. That's about it. It's quite clever, isn't it?